Hey everybody, hey, this is Bill with I Ride RV Adventures. Hey, I bet y'all are wondering where we've been. Well, it's been quite some time since we had any videos uploaded to our RV channel. And there's a reason why. Several months ago, we were out in our motorhome, camping out at a Corps of Engineer Park over by Beaver Lake. We woke up in the middle of the night, smelled something funny, started looking around to see what it was. Anyway, to make a long story short, within 20 minutes of that, their bedroom was on fire. Evidently, we had a short in one of the 12-volt wiring circuits, and the fuse should have blown, but all we can figure was a faulty fuse, and it melted the housing around the fuse, but the fuse did not blow. And anyway, that caused the problem. Now, here again, some are going to say, well, maybe you had too big of a fuse. Well, it was a 15-amp fuse. It should have blown. My auto mechanic, my personal mechanic that I use for all of my vehicles, told me that we did have a rash of automotive fuses at one time that simply would not blow. So maybe that was the problem. We're not sure. But anyway, we had to drop back and punt, you might say, and refigure what we were going to do. In the meantime, we did a lot of research on different things we could do. Looked at a lot of RVs, both new and used. But always in the back of our mind, we had that thing going on in the back of our mind about, what if? What if we buy a used RV or another motorhome and we have a similar issue? And so what we decided to do instead, we decided to do our own cargo conversion ourselves. So we're going to convert a cargo trailer. And this is the one that we're going to do it with. And we had this one specially built with the intent of converting it into a camper, into a travel trailer of sorts. This is a 7x16 cargo trailer, and we opted to go extra interior height. We went with a 7-foot interior height, which is an extra cost option. In addition to that, we went with an extended tongue, and I'm really glad that we did. And we also went with an option for a platform to mount our generator on there, and both of those are extra cost options. In addition to that, you'll see the 24-inch diamond plate ATP that runs around the trailer, 24 inches high. And that too is an extra cost option, of course. And I went ahead and spent just a few extra dollars so I could get the matching fenders that are also diamond plate fenders as well. And I really like the way it looks. It really come out nice. Other structural things. We went with scissor jacks on all four corners. You see one there, and there's one back there, and of course there's two more on the other side as well. We're really glad we did that as well. We had a cargo trailer before this one that we kind of experimented with, and on that one we went with the fold down type jacks, and we decided on the next one to go with the scissor jacks, even though they cost a little more. The main reason why is because you've got to have a certain amount of space for those jacks to fold down before you ever start adjusting them. And sometimes you pull into some Corps of Engineer parks, and the mounting, the pad that you pull up on may be at a pretty steep slope, and you may actually not have enough room to fold down the jacks. So we decided to go with scissor jacks as well because of that reason. You also notice we have a 15 by 30 RV window in the RV door, another 15 by 30 right here, mounted horizontally, and then of course a 30 by 30 here. Now when we walk around to the other side, and I'll mention too, I also opted for the extra cost option for the slant nose as well. I'm telling myself I did that for aerodynamics. I don't know if it really works, if it really helps me that much, but I just think it looks cool. So there you go. That's why I did it. And then we've got another 30 by 30 window back here. Now this trailer is manufactured by Rock Solid Cargo, as you see right there. And we went through a broker. Now Rock Solid Cargo is in Douglas, Georgia, which is about 100 miles north of the Florida state line. We went with Southern Trailer Depot as our broker, and our salesperson was Jerry Merritt. And I highly recommend, if you look into doing something like this and get a trailer out of Douglas, Georgia, there's other trailer manufacturers there as well. Be sure and contact Jerry Merritt at Southern Trailer Depot. He was very, very helpful. This is actually my second trailer that I've purchased through him, and I've been very satisfied with the experience both times. All right, now here's the real controversial thing here. There's two things actually controversial that I've had a lot of feedback on. as you can see, keep in mind, we had this thing put together and built specifically with a conversion in mind. So we did away with either a cargo door or a ramp on the back and went with a 32-inch RV door at the back. Now, the way our configuration is going to be, and we'll talk about this real quick and move on, we're going to mount a real queen size bed, which is 80 inches long by 5 feet wide, across the middle of the trailer. The little 15 by 30 horizontal window you see there is basically going to be where the head of the bed is, and the bed's going to run crosswise right there. Just imagine that center upright in that window is also directly below that, on down a little lower, is where the center of the bed will be, and it will go 2.5 feet on either side. The kitchen is going to be in the back, and the bathroom facilities are going to be in the front. And the main reason why I went with this is because I just have this thing about having the potty within a couple of feet of where we cook and eat. And so the potty will be on the far end, and along with curtains and stuff, and then the kitchen will be in the back. So that's the main reason why. Then, I have everybody saying, well, you're going to be crawling over each other. You got to crawl here to get there and crawl here to get there. Well, you know what? When you look at some RVs, brand new RVs, where they have the bed mounted either in the front or the back, and when they have the bed mounted crosswise in the front or the back, someone is crawling over someone. That's all there is to it. And the way our layout is going to be, I'm going to be sleeping on the bathroom side because I have to get up more often than she does in the middle of the night. She's sleeping on the kitchen side. And what that means for me is, don't tell her I said this, but what that means for me is, she gets to get up and get me coffee every morning because that's where the coffee pot will be. So anyway, that'll be our little secret right there. All right, let's step inside right quick, and I'll give you a better idea of how things are going to go. And here again, we have thought and cussed and discussed and everything else about how this is going to be. And anyway, just imagine here, I've got these two lawn chairs sitting here. Just imagine the back side of the bed will be lined up with that side of the lawn chair. There's the window. So just imagine that the center of the bed, the center of the head of the bed, will be lining up with the center of that window, where you see the center upright on that window. And a queen size bed is 5 feet wide, so it'll go 2.5 feet on either side. On this wall, at the foot of the bed, is where the 50-inch flat screen TV will go. Okay. Now right here, where you see this 30 by 30 window here, we had that positioned specifically so that the center of the window itself would line up with the center of the kitchen sink, which will be in the cabinet below it there. And the refrigerator will go right here on this side of the window right here. We're going to go with a little 4.3 cubic foot refrigerator that has a separate freezer. They have them at Home Depot for $199. We had one in our motorhome, and it worked fantastic, drew very little power. We were very, very pleased with that refrigerator. So why try anything else? Go back to it. The shower will be up here towards the front at the beginning of the V back, and we're still out to lunch on exactly what we're going to go with there, whether we're going to go with a 32 by 32 inch shower pan and build our own shower, or if we're going to go with a 24 by 36 RV tub and then build a tub surround around it. It all depends on how we can make other things fit in here. But this is the basic idea for that. We're hoping that we can put a small kitchen laboratory right here in the front center of the V. And we're planning on putting the potty right there in that general vicinity. And we're discussing between a Tetford cassette style potty or go all the way and get a Nature's Head composting toilet. Now, the nerve center is going to be under the bed. There will be a 50-gallon freshwater tank under the bed. The electricity from the 50 amp service, so we're going to go 50 amp service, it will end up under the bed. We're also going to have a 6-gallon 120 volt electric hot water heater. It will be under the bed, and my house batteries will be under the bed. So basically everything will come in underneath the bed and then branch out from there. Of course, we're going to have overhead cabinets, except for directly above the shower. We'll have overhead cabinets that run pretty much the full length of the trailer down both sides. even above the doors. And I'm going to arrange it so all of my wiring runs in a chase area behind the cabinets. I'll mount the cabinets in such a way where they set about 3/4 of an inch out from the wall, and that's where all of the wiring will run down through there and be arranged neatly. And I'll make it so I have false panels at the back of the cabinet so I can take the panels off and get to the wiring if I need to. There will be no internal wiring at all except for what I briefly have to run to get up to the fantastic fan, which we will eventually mount in the front vent, and the overhead air conditioner, which will eventually mount in the back vent. So those are the only two areas where wiring will be run, inside the quote unquote sandwich, you might say. Everything else will be where I can get to it. And I'm even going to try to figure out some way where I could get to all that wiring and expose it easily if I needed to. I mean, I've got to. Just all there is to it, and I'll figure it out. No propane. We're not going to go with any propane. We're going to be pretty much total electric. Most of our camping will always be done at a campground that has service to it. We may end up doing a little bit of boondocking. I will have house batteries. I will have things that run off a 12 volt. I will have an inverter. Of course, we all know that when you have an inverter, and especially if you don't have solar hooked up to it or something, you're limited as to how long you can go with just battery power. And of course, we can't do any cooking with battery power. We can't run the air conditioner with battery power. But we'll just see. And I'm going to try to incorporate a way so I can add solar to it later, because I do think solar is a great thing. I surely do. So anyway, those are the basic things right now. One thing I do want to point out about this cargo trailer, now the one I had before was made by Diamond Cargo. It was a little 12-footer that we experimented with, and then when we decided this is the way we was going to go, we sold it and bought this 7x16. Both of them, whether it was a Diamond Cargo or this rock solid cargo that we have now, both of them came with plywood on the walls, plywood on the floor, and in addition to that, the ceiling bows, the supports, they're bowed already, so you don't see that little piece of Luan plywood running down the center in between the ceiling supports and the ceiling itself to give it a slope. The slope is already built in to these ceiling supports, which I really like. In addition to that, both my Diamond Cargo and this one have the interior vinyl ceiling liner, which is really cool. I do intend to put a coating on the outside of the ceiling in the spring, just because. So, that will be done down the road. But this is the basic setup right now. We will be documenting everything as we build the trailer. We're not in a hurry. We hope to have it ready to start using it by April or May. And I also have my 2004 Chevrolet Express van 2500 that I'm going to be doing a minor conversion on it as well at the same time. And it's also our tow vehicle. So we'll be documenting both things because it's going to be part of our setup. We have become avid cyclists and avid kayakers. We'll be taking our bicycles with us wherever we go. And in addition, we'll be taking our 12-foot kayaks with us. And there they are right there. And we picked them up during the summer, last summer, and we just had a blast with those things. And we didn't realize how much we enjoyed kayaking. So it's part of our life now. That's all there is to it. So I've got to incorporate a way to carry all that stuff, plus have this trailer ready to go so we can hook on and go traveling. And our plan is to leave sometime next year about this time around Thanksgiving and go on a 4-month trip where we kind of make a circle, meander down, and eventually end up at Key West, and then meander back up the East Coast to where I-40 intersects with the East Coast, come back across I-40, and then back home to Arkansas for the spring and summer of 2019. So that is our plan. We're excited about getting this thing going. We will keep you posted and document everything. We love this trailer. If you want to look at having something like this put together, be sure and contact Jerry Merritt at Southern Trailer Depot, or go to their website, southerntrailerdepot.com. It'll get you there. To be honest with you, I haven't talked to Jerry about this, but it takes a little bit to figure out how to navigate their website. But once you figure out how to navigate, you can go in and look at all the different options. They'll have pricing on all the different options, like how much each particular window is, how much extra vents are. The trailers come standard with one vent, all that stuff. how much it costs to add the extra interior height, how much it costs if you want to go with the 24-inch ATP chrome. All of that stuff is there. We also opted to go with the thicker skin on the outside. Rather than the 024, we went with the 030 skin, which is also an extra cost option as well. So there you are. That's basic everything in a nutshell. Feel free to comment. If you have any questions, I'll look at that from time to time and see and go in there and do my best to answer the questions. If you have any suggestions that have done this, be sure and make suggestions as well. I'm open to any suggestions. I am not going with propane. I'm going to be total electric. The only thing we'll have propane will be maybe a portable Weber propane grill or something like that. But we're not going to go with propane. We're going to be electric. We're going with 50 amp instead of 30. Probably 80, at least 80 to 90% of the time we'll be plugged in somewhere at a campground. And most likely it'll be a Corps of Engineer campground or one of those, because we have the Golden Pass, which gets us in for, half price. So you can't beat that. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this quickie video. We will be posting more. We won't be getting a whole lot up real quick, but we will be doing some from time to time. Keep looking. And we're excited about getting this project going, and we're excited about our followers to come back to us and follow along as we embark on a whole new adventure. It's a couple of years down the road from our first adventure, but we're much more excited about this one and feel much more secure in what we're getting ready to do. I will say that. Y'all take care. This is Bill with iRide RV Adventures, and we will be talking to you again in the near future. Thank you. Bye-bye.